Hi everyone, it is Lisa, and it is Rambling Hour with Lisa, and season 4, episode 2. And I was not ready to go live, and I was messing around with my phone, and I accidentally pressed the live button, so I guess I am starting now. So bear with me. I'm just going to pour myself some pop. I know it's a long weekend in Canada, so some people might be camping or not home for this live, but they might be watching it later. I'm a bit late today just because I've been gardening, and you know, it's like, so I was in the garden and I thought I had enough time for getting ready for my live, but as soon as I came in the house, then everybody needed something, and you know, and this and that, and it just took me forever. And then yeah, by the time I thought I'd be ready, I wasn't. And it's really light, but if I go like that, then it changes my lighting, but I don't even have my light on. It's just the sun. Just some kids down the street with a remote control car. I'm just being snoopy. So I'm in my front driveway right now, and you probably won't see Steve when he comes out, but he'll come out this way to get in his car to go out with his mates. So there's just like this display behind me. It's I got that fountain for free, which I really, really love, and I feel like it was a gift from my dad after he passed away, because it just felt like he guided me to it, and I got it for free, so it reminds me of my dad. And then there's the thing that looks rusty there, and there's one over, well, you can't see it, it's back here. They actually are benches, and they used to sit like this with a bench on each side and then an arch over the top, so it's like an arbor. But I put the arch over the stream in the back, and then I have these two benches here, but I don't have the seats on them, so I just have stuff that climbs up them. But yeah, so it goes this way to the caravan and to the pool, and then this way more plants into the street. So yeah, that's where I thought I'd set up today. That plant that you see behind me that sprawls out, it's called a buddleia, and you can see all the purple flowers, like or butterfly bush, and it's almost a weed, but I've left it there for now. It's growing out of the ground, so it's actually making a hole in the asphalt, tarmac, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know how to, I don't know how to change how bright I am by sitting back. Like I said, every time I touch it there, then it fixes it, but then when I sit back, I'm bright again. So at least you can see all the plants in the background. That's more important than seeing my bright face. But hi, Samantha. Yes, this is where Samantha parks her car when she comes into the drive, because me and Steve are parked over by the garage, and this is just open space for parking. So yeah, it's just, I didn't get ready again today. It's one of those days. I just and then I had to kind of build myself up to do this, because I didn't know what I was going to be talking about. Don't have a guest. I don't know why, because it's not like my sister's the only person who watches, but is like, oh, Melody's not going to be watching, she's going to be at the lake. But then, like I said, I did think about people like that. It is a bank holiday weekend in Canada. This is my Edmonton jumper. I bought it at the airport. I bought it at the airport in Edmonton when I went home for my dad's funeral like 3 or 4 years ago, and then on my way back I bought it, and then Steve asked why I didn't buy him one. I wish I would have, because and the kids wear it and everything else, and I don't mind that, but I hate that if the more it gets dirty, the more it's gonna have to be washed, and the more, like, I don't want that to wear off. So I would love it, but because it's a bit overcast and cloudy. I know the sun's gonna be setting soon, but it's kind of peeking out, but it is like dripping a bit of rain on me as well. So it's not as warm as I'd like it to be out. It's bothering me. Yeah, it's not as warm as I'd like it to be out, but so I'm just wearing a hoodie for comfort. I thought about having a shower, getting ready for my live, and then being like in my pajamas or some comfy clothes and doing my live from my bedroom, but then I remembered I haven't done my workout yet, so that won't work. I don't want to be comfy until after I'm done my workout. So hi, mommy. Yeah, so I'm gonna do my my live, and then I will do my workout, and then I will get all comfy and cozy in bed, and I'll read while Steve's gone out with his mates. So what is new with you guys? Another week. I told you guys the next time I saw you would be August, and here we are, August 1st. Just makes me sad. I mean, I love August, and it's that time of summer when all the plants are doing great and our gardens are looking wonderful, but anybody who thinks that there was just an orb that went down, it's not. It's like a teeny, it's like the tiniest feather in the world. I don't know if I got it or not, but it was like the teeny feather. Yeah, so it just feels like summer's gonna go by really fast. I know that it's not even halfway done, but it just feels, for me growing up in Canada when we got all of July and August off from school, that was summer to me. So the fact that July is gone and now we have August, it feels like summer's half over. And then, you know, September school starts again and everything else. And although we have more of a mild season here, so I'll still probably get some summer weather in September and October, and I get to garden longer than I would on the prairies, it still feels like I just really need to hold on to these days. And so I'm a bit sad that the past week has been overcast and not as hot as I want it to be. So Samantha is dog sitting at Alex's brother's. So again, Alex is her partner, and Alex's brother is Alex's brother. So that's where Samantha is tonight. As if Samantha doesn't have enough to do with her own kids and working and everything else. She's dog sitting, but at someone else's house as well. So I hope everybody's well. I told you guys last week that I was reading the book, Signposts of Dying, and I finished that book. It's really good. I really like it. It's great for anybody who is dealing with somebody who's passing away, or if they're facing death themselves in their last stages, and it helps you to find out what's to come. And it's set up in signposts, like each one is a different one, so you can look in the book just to write to what you want to look up, what's happening, and it's a really good book. So I really enjoyed that one. So I'm going to be starting a new book tonight when after I do my workout and get into bed. Mom says in Edmonton, Alberta, it is 28 and it'll be 33, and it's just after 1 in the afternoon there. So, and Samantha says in between here and mine for the next 10 days. That sounds crazy, Samantha. Where is Alex's brother? Did he go out of the country somewhere? It's weird because I'm listening to podcasts, and they're from before. Well, on them, they're both when like COVID started, so it was weird to hear things before COVID and then when COVID started and up until now. And I keep thinking like, oh, I know what's gonna come, you know, and just how much has changed or not changed in the however many months we've been doing this now. So yeah, it's I'm still nervous about some of the things, you know, only being vaccinated once, and you know, the kids wanting friends over and all that stuff. I'm just, you know, I know slowly we'll get back to like a normal type of life, but I still am nervous about how much of what to do and all of that. I'm really not liking hearing my voice today. And the other thing about where we live, in this little end of the street and it goes down, and then it has an apartment building behind our house, and it has another house behind this fence. And it just seems like everything echoes. So sometimes I'll hear like a noise, say a lawnmower or somebody's using something, a leaf blower, and I'm looking around and I can't tell, with the train tracks next to us and the houses behind them, it echoes, and I can't tell exactly where the sound's coming from. So I know right now even me talking is probably echoing around to the neighborhood, so I'm sure they enjoy me talking. Okay, so Samantha says, well, she has to go between there and work and her girls at home, and they are in Mallorca, Spain. So yeah, they're on a holiday, I suppose. I'm okay. I mean, I didn't even go to the Tat and Flower show a few weeks ago, let alone going on holiday. If I knew that, you know, I mean, you know, me and Steve were just gonna be on the beach or in our hotel room, like, you know, not around other people. But it's even the flight and everything else that I'm okay not going right now. Samantha says, Thursday, you guys come here. We have an indoor pool, hot tub, pool table. Oh yeah, because I'm getting together with Samantha on Thursday with me and Erica. because Erica and Samantha's daughter Tyla are best friends. So, and then we'll see Danielle as well. So yeah, we can do that. I'm not going to say no. I love swimming and I miss swimming. And the whole time, Samantha and her kids and her mom have sort of been our bubble. So if she needed emergency childcare or anything, we've been in a bubble. So I know that that I'm all right with them. So yeah, I'm happy to do that. That'll be fun. That gives me something to look forward to this week. Steve and Amy, my stepdaughter, his daughter, are going to the Friends Festival on Wednesday. So that was a Father's Day gift from Amy to Steve, but also Amy, when she was younger, she was obsessed with Friends and knows every episode and everything. They do this thing where Steve will send her a text with one line from a Friends episode, and she'll name who said it, what episode it was in. Like she's watched them that many times when she was younger. So it's really cool for them that they're going to go to that together, and it's a father-daughter thing, so that's sweet. So that's what I know is coming up this week. So yeah, like I said, him on Wednesday doing that, and then on Thursday, us getting together with Samantha and her girls. And other than that, I don't know that I have a lot planned this week. Mom says she's going to the outside pool at Tina's. Like, Mom, are you at home right now and you got to go over to Tina's, or you're already at Tina's and you're going to go out into the pool? Yes, Mom, Tina sent me a really cute picture of you in the pool yesterday. And it was like between these like bushes on her patio or whatever, so it just looked like she was like peeking in at you. It was really cute. I'm gonna have a sip of my pop. It's just not pool weather here at the moment, like outdoor pool. So Mom's at home right now, and she'll go to my sister Tina's and go in the swimming pool, which at those temperatures, I absolutely understand why you would. If you hear you can hear water. You might even be able to hear the filters. Like, the pool is right next to me, and it is, the water is coming out of the filter. But, so if it was hot, I would definitely go in there, but it's not. So it's kind of cool right now. Like, it looks like the sun is on me, but it's not. The sun has actually gone down behind the buildings, but there's clouds over me. Yeah, that looks brighter back there on the camera than it actually is in real life. There's like gray clouds all over me. I can see Erica at the front door, and Steve's coming out, getting ready to leave. Erica is getting ready for Betty Buys.
That said, what are you gonna do? He's gonna run you over.
He's not. He can go out that way. He doesn't have to turn around. Yeah, he might want to run me over. So as you can see, Erica's getting old and her hair is turning gray. Are you gonna come say hi, babe? Tisk, tisk. So at least Erica's not shy. Oh, that tells me it's her bedtime. Give me a hug and kiss.
I have 5 minutes, but yeah.
That's to get ready and get in bed.
I love
Okay, love you. Bye. And now you can hear Steve's engine running because he's gonna leave me. Pardon? Yeah. Ciao. He said, should he just sit there and rev his car? Yes, so it will be quiet again in a second here. I've been out in the garden all day, just tinkering and what's the word? Like, I was trying to think of last week, pruning. That was the word I was trying to think of. And I was just, pruning some plants and making things look nice. And that's basically all I'm doing right now. And that's what I wanted. I wanted it to be a summer where I don't have to do a lot of, that's the remote control if you can hear that. I didn't want it to be a lot of having to do projects or anything, although I was going to do the fish pond and I haven't, but I just want to, maintain the plants that we have, and even then I have probably still too many, but yeah, Steve, he's too shy, and he's gone now too, so no chance. One day I'll convince him to be my guest. It'll have to be a day that he doesn't go out with his mates. Sorry, I'm just burping from my pop. So what else is up August. I'm jealous of people that I see in Canada going camping and swimming in the lakes and all that. And yeah, definitely jealous of things. But I know that some people might be jealous when they see my garden and stuff. So instead of being jealous of what other people have, we gotta appreciate what we have ourselves. So, and I do. I love my garden. I love being out in it every day. And if I didn't have to take care of the family, I'd be out in it even more. But I like how everything is going. And if you see my pictures, it's a lot of gardening, a lot of plants and pots and stuff. So there's always lots to do. And part of that is, like I said, because I'm learning what grows how big and everything else. So, and I don't have a lot of flower beds, like ground space to put it in, especially with like this huge parking area in our garden. And as much as I would be like just drive in and park the cars and then back out or whatever and make this all into more garden, it's not that. It doesn't work that way. Steve, when he comes in, he turns around and then backs into the garage. So he uses all this, if there's not a car parked here, to turn around. So that's why I have to have the plants in certain areas. Yeah, Mom told me this when I was talking to her the other day, but she says the wasps are really bad there, like super bad in Alberta. So I don't know why that is, but it's a bad year for wasps. Must have to do with the temperature or something. I have no idea. I just, let's see. I haven't had as much, to be honest. There's been a lot of bees, but I haven't had as much insects in the garden this summer as I thought I would. I mean, I have my worms and everything else that, that are pretty good, but I would like to see more, especially around the ponds. Now an airplane's going over, and I don't know if you can hear that or not. Oh, I can see it. It's like right there. So that'll be going to, wait, which way am I facing? So it's coming from the Manchester airport. Yeah, okay, so there's this book. I was gonna talk, I didn't bring it out, but I'll read it and then I'll tell you guys more about it next week, and I'll hold it up for you. It's called Just Ask. And I ordered a copy for my sister in Canada, because when there's good kids books, I think, who else? Because she's a teacher and that's what she likes for her kids is books. And I bought a copy for myself, and I haven't read it yet, but it's called Just Ask. And I was listening to Trevor Noah, Daily Show with Trevor Noah. It's a satire news show in America. And I was listening to the podcast version, and he was talking to a politician, and this is like at the beginning of COVID type thing, so it's not recent, but and when she had childhood diabetes, and she was in a bathroom, and she said usually she gave herself her injections in a bathroom stall, but I can't remember why at this time she didn't. She was at a restaurant, she went into the bathroom, she was giving herself an injection by the sink, and a woman came in, or was leaving and washed her hands or whatever. When she walked by the table, after that woman, she heard that woman whisper to the people she was with that girl's a drug addict. And then she kept walking, and then she thought, oh, maybe I won't say anything. But then she thought, you know what, I will. So she went back and she said, actually, I'm not a drug addict, I'm a diabetic. And that what you saw me injecting myself with is medicine that saves my life. So, if you think something about somebody, it's more important to just ask. And so she wrote this children's book about kids who look different or act different or different things. And instead of just making your own conclusions about why they are like that, then just ask. And most people are willing to tell you why they're in a wheelchair or why they look a certain way or whatever, instead of just staring or, yeah. So I'm going to read the book, and I'll let you guys know how it is. It's a kid's book, so I'll read that one before I start my new book tonight. Mom says, hey, but no mosquitoes, because I guess with all the wasps, then you don't have as many mosquitoes, which is really good. Here, there's no mosquitoes during the day that bother me, but as soon as evening comes, there seems to be a little bit more. But it also depends where I am in the garden, but yeah, I get a little bit. Not enough to go put bug spray on, because it's usually when it gets dark, and so I'm going to be going in anyways, but yeah, they're more annoying than anything. I don't know if I can turn around and show you the sky. I don't know if you'll be able to So that's the street. There, it kind of looks neat. And if you see that, that telephone pole there with all the wires, I don't know if you can make out the wires, but that is one of my favorite things to look at with the sky behind it and take pictures of and stuff. So I made a beef barley stew, and that's what we've had for supper the last couple nights. So I have that, but there's also some chicken wings that need to be cooked and eaten, so I might make the chicken wings for myself. Steve's already had 2 bowls of stew and a bun, big bun. So yeah, but I might just have chicken wings. We'll see, and I have to freeze the rest of the stew. And Samantha says the sky looks lovely, and oh, and she said she hates wasps, real phobia. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't have a problem with wasps, I just don't like being stung. And same with mosquitoes, and then obviously with, you know, mosquitoes carrying different diseases, so stuff like that bothers me more than the actual bugs. So yeah, I think I'll put my chicken wings on, do my workout, and then they take like, in the air fryer, I put them on for 20 minutes because they're not frozen, and then I, you know, I shake them at 10 minutes and then shake them at 20 minutes, and then I put them on for another 20 minutes, and then they're usually good enough to eat then, but then sometimes I like them even more crispy. So I think it'll be a good evening, having some time just to read. Sometimes I want to lie in bed and read before I go to sleep, but at the same time, Steve wants to spend time with me, which is great, but then like I'm torn, so it's like, okay, I'm lying beside you, but just let me read my book, and then we're still spending time together, but he doesn't think that's time together. But if we lie there and watch TV together, then it's spending time together because we're watching the same program. And of course there's lots of things I like to watch as well, but it's, yeah, so I'm looking forward to just being able to read. But the only thing is, and I would go to bed at like 10 o'clock if it was up to me. But on days like this, I will go up there and I'll start reading, or even if I watch TV, and then I'll be like, nope, this is boring. I can't just do nothing. I'm going to go to sleep. So I would be an early to bed, early to rise person if it was up to me. So sometimes I'm asleep before Steve gets home, if he gets home between 11 and midnight. And so it's not, on Sundays we don't tend to watch TV together, although because kids don't have school right now, and because he doesn't go to work early because he's his own boss and he misses traffic, because I don't have to get up, then I might be up when he gets home and watch TV on at a time like this. But if I had to get up for waking up the kids in the morning and everything else, and also when I wake up earlier, I just feel like I have so much, okay, because if you wake up early, say you wake up at, that's Lena barking, Lena, enough. If you wake up at 7 and then you have all that day to do stuff and everything else, but if you wake up at like 10 and then that's like 3 hours, right, difference that you have things to do, because you still feel tired and kind of like, meh, that's enough of the day at the same time. So whether it's at supper time or, you know, evening, like you kind of just start getting like, meh, winding down. So I would get so much more done the earlier I get up. But at the same time, I like sleep and I hate feeling tired. So if I go to sleep at midnight, then getting up at 7 would be fine. But if I watch TV till 2 in the morning, then I'm not going to want to get up at 7. And I can definitely oversleep. I can sleep for the Olympics. I'm really good at sleeping. But the problem is if you oversleep, the more you sleep, the tireder, and you feel more tired as well. So the last few days with the gray skies and then sleeping in and everything else, I've just felt like meh, tired and, you know, mopey and just walking around. And so yeah, I mean, I've got some stuff done today in the garden definitely, but it's still not one of my most productive days. It is weird to sit out in the middle of the drive like this and just look around, because this isn't the angle that I usually get of the garden. So I'm staring like straight at the house. It's pretty cool actually. It's a nice house. Glad I live here. You ever hang upside down on a chair or something and look at the world differently, and it's like a different perspective? Or when you go away on holiday and you clean your house. I try to have the house clean before I leave, although once you get back and put all the suitcases and everything in, it just gets messy. But when you've been away from your house for a bit and then you come home and you come in and it feels different. You get to see it kind of the way other people get to see it. So, yeah, just talking to myself. I know that you guys are watching, but nobody's commenting, so I used to be able to talk a lot better, and now I feel like on these lives my brain just doesn't work, or I don't think have topics to talk about. I love summertime. I'm really enjoying the weather. No, I want it to be hotter. I mean, I'm enjoying the fact that it's summertime, and I'm enjoying getting out and gardening. That's what I meant. It is crazy because you always have to be one season ahead with your planning though when you garden. So if you want to make displays, like even though it's summer now and things are looking good, you kind of got to think of your fall display, especially if you garden like me where you garden in pots, because then if you want to move things around or what's going to look best in the autumn. Ideally, if I had flower beds, you would have things that, you know, this bulbs look good in the spring, and then after they go, the summer stuff looks good, and then after they go, the autumns, you know, this grass looks good in the autumn, and then that goes, and then in the winter the stems. And but like I said, I don't have a lot of flower beds to work with. What I call the Tudor bed over there, where I painted the Tudor building on the side, I actually want to take all the plants out of there and redo it and make it a bit different. Yeah, the cat's got my tongue. And also there's part in the wildlife bed here by the pond in front of the house that it's just that it's been in for a few years now, so I need to take it out and divide the perennials and then make it a bit different and such. So there is that, but those are both two really big jobs, and actually maybe that's actually good that it's not as hot right now, because that's when it would be better to do that work, because when it's too hot it's not the best time to move your perennials. So autumn and spring are the better times, but I don't really want to wait till autumn. I want to do it when I get to it. The problem with the Tudor bed is that Tom's car's parked there and he still doesn't have his license, so it doesn't move unless him and Steve go out for a lesson, but they haven't. So it's kind of in my way. I want to be able to work on that bed when his car's not there, so I might switch him parking spots. So he parks where I do in the garden, and then I'll park over there so I can move my car when I work on that. We'll see. So speaking of cats, there's a lot of cats that go through our garden, like our yard here, because they come off the street and then go through to the train tracks. And I don't know if it's I think it's the fox that behind the caravan, where the train tracks are, like there's a fence, but it's dug a hole underneath. So where Lena is, there's a gate, so she can't get out into this part of the garden. Yeah, so yeah, I wish I could read more, but I'm glad that I can listen to podcasts in my headphones, because there's just so much to do all the time, whether it's cleaning or, you know, like housework and that kind of stuff, or if it's gardening or whatever. Like I can listen to something and learn, or, you know, enjoy that whilst doing something else. Whereas if I was to sit down and read, because there is part of me that just says, Lisa, just sit down. It's summertime, sit down, read, enjoy being out in the, you know, outside and everything else. But then there's nothing getting done, whether it's something I want to do or something that has to be done. So I'm disappointed in the electrician. We haven't heard from the electrician all week, and I would like to think that they're just he's working on his other stuff, and that he is going to still show up. This is, like I said, it's been years that we've been waiting for an electrician. This is about the fourth electrician that we've tried to, you know, make plans with, and he didn't. He first, you know, I said before he was going to come to do work, and then he had to isolate for 10 days because of COVID, and then I'm guessing he had other work to do this week, but we haven't even heard from him. So I'm pretty disappointed, because at this rate, like, I'm just gonna have to go to school and get my you know, to become an electrician, because we can't do any of the work around the house until the electric's done. So I don't know. And Steve has wanted to text him, but he hasn't yet, because he doesn't know what to say, because he is unsure if he'll be nice about it, because there's part of us that wants to be nice and be like, you know, like, so do you know what day this week you'll be showing up, or, you know, something neutral. But there's also a part of us that's like, wants to say like, hey, what the hell, where are you? And, you know, you said you'd not do this, not screw us over like the other ones have. So I'll let you know next week if anything else happens with the electrician, but that's how it is now. But I mean, I don't really want to go to school, but I am at this point like wondering if it would be better to just go to school for it and get like certified so I can do the work myself. I'm the kind of person that likes to, do it yourself. If you want something done, do it yourself, because I hate waiting on people, and I'm kind of impatient that way. But also, it's so frustrating because, sometimes you can't do the renovations because you don't have the money, or there's other reasons. And I know that there's been, like, with COVID and everything, there's been reasons that we haven't been able to do some of the work with that. But it is very frustrating that what it is that we can't get someone to confirm and do, because we need, like I said, pretty much the whole house needs to be rewired eventually. So there is so much for them to do, which I would think that that's a good thing. You wouldn't want to just go to a house to do one little thing, but I would think that it'd be a good thing that there'd be lots of work. So it would give you, but I have no idea. Oh, another airplane's going over. So I hope everybody's had a good week this week that just passed, and I hope that you guys are going to have a good week coming up, and really enjoy your August, because like I said before, we know it's going to go by so quickly and summer's going to be over. My second COVID jab is on the 17th, so yep. But I wasn't too rough, I didn't feel too bad from my last one, so hopefully this one I won't feel much, hopefully won't be sick or anything from it. Oh my God, I'm only halfway through. Oh, sorry, reconnected into the internet. Sorry about that. I didn't say anything important, just said I'm only halfway through my rambling hour, and I don't know what to ramble about. You guys got to give me some topics. I could talk about plants and flowers, but I don't think you guys want to know about them. I have so many of them. What else? It's crazy because most weddings are in the summertime, so on Facebook and stuff like that, and whether people got married, last year or 10 years ago or 20 years ago, there's just so many anniversaries, so it's like every day I'm saying happy anniversary to somebody on Facebook. But what I'm thinking about is that August 10th is my parents' wedding anniversary, and but my dad's passed away, so and then the next day, August 11th, is my little sister Tina and her husband's anniversary. Mom asked what the kids are up to, and Nicole asked, do you still journal every day? I remember your boxes and boxes of journals. I actually do journal every day right now. It's been, because I talked about it on different lives. There's the Way of the Tortoise, like happiness journal that I was doing, and that was 16 weeks, and now I'm doing my happy self journal, and I do that every day. So it's kind of like, it's my journaling, but it's also testing out how these journals are so I can tell people about them. But yeah, I do journal every day still. And then obviously doing this is kind of a journal in itself, in a way, because I tell you guys about my week and how my week has been. So with the kids, Amy and James are doing good. Like I said, Amy and Steve are going to be going to the Friends Fest on Wednesday. And then Owen is doing really well. He's working on a television show right now. And I can't remember how many weeks he has, about 13 weeks working on this television show. It's called The Circle. And this is the American version of it, even though they're filming it in the UK. And, but I think they're pretending it's New York. I don't know. And so they're both doing well. And then Thomas is up in his room, and he goes to his mom's or his grandparents every weekend, or he tries to. And he was at his mom's this weekend, and his mom's boyfriend Richard has to get a COVID test. So Thomas came home and went straight to his room. So luckily he has an ensuite in his room, like a little bathroom, so he doesn't have to come out of there. But he is staying in his room until he gets the results back from Richard's COVID test tomorrow, and then he'll see what he's going to do. But I don't think he's going into work with Steve tomorrow until he knows the results. And then Allison is out with friends right now, and Aurora is up in her room probably playing on the Xbox. and Erica is in the house. She was on her laptop, but she was getting ready for bed, so that means that if Erica's going to bed, then Aurora needs to get out of the bedroom, and then Aurora will probably just, well, Aurora will have to do the dishes because that's her job. So that is what all the kids are up to. Yeah. And Nicole, how are your kids? And for those of you who don't know, Nicole is like a few blocks away from my parents' house. There was a family with 3 daughters that I used to babysit, and now they're older and they have their own kids, and it's just weird. So Nicole has 2 kids. So, yep. And now I have 3 daughters, and they are babysitting age, but I don't live near anybody with little kids for my girls to babysit. And Samantha says, Tyla and Danielle are both in bed. Listen, I'd love to be in bed. And like I said, had I planned better, if I would have done my workout today, I really would have just had a shower before my live and got into some comfy clothes and then went straight to bed and either read or fallen asleep or something right after my live. But I got to boost myself up to do my workout. And once I'm doing it, I'm fine, but it's still hard. It doesn't get easier because I push myself to, you know, squat a little deeper, just do, whatever, just push a little harder, whatever it is, the push-ups, doing more of them or whatever it is. So the workout never gets easy. I never push myself to a point where I'm going to be sore the next day, but I push myself to a point where I'm making it worth it. Because if I'm going to do if I'm going to waste my time doing the workout and watching what I'm eating and everything else, then I'm going to make it worth it. Nicole says, busy. Megan is getting ready for grade 2, and Katie is crazy busy all of the time, and Bruce is an angel. Oh, you have 3? What? How many does Tiffany have? How many? So is it Sophie or Sophia is Tiffany's oldest? Katie is, okay, like 3 kids in one, and she is a lot, but we love her. But yes, my days are super busy. We also have Matt's 2 sisters with us since May, so 5 kids. Oh my goodness. That is a big house full of children. That's a lot. I mean, I remember those days, but Katie and Bruce are 14 months apart. Oh, well, maybe I didn't even realize that there was another one. I knew you had the oldest one, and then I knew you had a little boy, but I missed Katie in between. I didn't know I was pregnant with him till 18 weeks. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, there was somebody else who on my Facebook I know who it was. Yes. And she didn't tell anybody about her last pregnancy, and it was just like, boom, she had a baby. She told everyone after the baby was there. Oh, wow. Yeah, over 2. Yeah, because your son, and I've already forgotten his name, Bruce. Yeah, I think it's Bruce. Is, that means he's new. He's pretty new. I try to keep up with everybody in their pictures on Instagram or Facebook and everything, but, it just, like we said, there was, how, 3 of you, like you and your sisters. Look at all these 3s. Like, my mom had 3 girls. And I have 3 girls, and Nicole, your mom had 3 girls, and Samantha, your mom had 3 girls, and so now it seems like that means that Nicole and Samantha, you guys have to have another girl each, so you each have 3 girls. Just kidding. But you know what I always think of with 3 daughters is like a coven for witches. That, I mean, you don't have to be sisters, but it always makes me think that it's interesting that 3 girls are together. Bruce is 11 months. Yes, time does fly. I mean, like I said, Nicole, I remember taking you guys to Boston Pizza or going out with you guys when I was babysitting you, and just everything we did together, let alone the fact that you have like 3 to 5 kids now. And and I mean, it's even crazy that I have kids, because when I babysat you guys, I didn't have any kids. So I remember, like, when I was pregnant with Allison and I saw you guys at the train station. It's just, I'm glad that you have lots of memories. Even, I still listen to Jewel. I love Jewel. I was such a good babysitter. I always say that to my kids because I had the time to be a good babysitter, but I'm not as good of a mom because it's too tiring. So I'll probably be a really good grandma because I won't have them all the time. So, but I hope you're enjoying being a mom, and it does get easier as they get older. You have different challenges, but it won't be as exhausting, and it's worth it. But it's a lot. I think it's probably your house is a lot right now, but actually in a way I like when there's if there's more than two, then it's all right, like because you have your schedules and you do things in a certain order, so you feel a lot more productive when because I used to do a day home as well after the kids were little and stuff. So Mom says more stressful. Mom, when they're little or when they're bigger? I mean, if I was still in Canada, I'd probably still be stressing my mom out. Yeah, I agree. Nicole says, I think that's what keeps me going, knowing it gets a little easier. Yeah, it does. But at the same time, you want to like hold on to all those memories of when they were little. And you tell yourself that you're going to, but then when they get bigger, you're like, I always tell my kids, like, I remember them little, but it feels like those were different people than the ones that I know now. Like, it's just so bizarre because it feels like forever ago. Mom says when they're bigger. Oops, sorry. Oh, there you go. There's the house. That's what I'm staring at. And Nicole says I try. LOL. Yeah, stressful when they're bigger. Knock on wood, but we don't have a lot of the teenage. Well, no, that's a lie. We do have a bit of the attitude and everything else, but I think it's different right now with COVID, and there's part of it that's a bit of a blessing because we don't have to worry about them being out and anywhere. But at the same time, you wish that they could just get out of the house and leave you alone. But yeah, we don't have to worry about who they're with and where they are and everything else. Allison's out right now, but I know who her friends are, and honestly, she's 17. She's going to be 18 in January, so there's part of me that will still be able to boss her around, but part of me that has to just accept that she's getting older, and soon enough she's gonna make decisions for herself. Yes, Mom, they can get into more trouble, and that's the problem. When they're little, they get into trouble, but it's at home. But when they get teenagers and stuff, they get into trouble, but it's out in the world, and then you have to deal with that. So it's crazy that Thomas is already going to be 20 in October, and Allison's going to be 18. And then we technically only have to get 2 more to adulthood, but we're never finished. And if it was up to Steve, he would just build onto the house and have them all live here forever. So he's more of a, there'll be babies forever to him. Thank you, Nicole. She says, I love your yard. I have my own little sanctuary in the backyard. Beautiful, but not nearly as full as yours. I'm obsessed though, and I don't work out of the house, and I don't have 5 kids like you that are little. So I am, obsessed. But I don't get to scrapbook or do anything really anymore because I'm too obsessed with the garden. So that's the downside. Like in Canada, I liked gardening in the summer, and then in the winter there's so much snow that you can't do anything outside, so that's when I would scrapbook. But here, because it's more mild season, I can garden all year round in a way, and so I don't get to do my other hobbies and stuff. So but yeah, I put a lot of work into the garden, and I really, really love it. But I'm at a point now that, I tell myself this, but then I still want more plants. But I am trying to love what I have and reduce it and just enjoy what I have instead of getting new things. So it is working a bit. I have definitely cut down on what I buy, but like I said, some of it, like with the when I do the beds that I'm going to do, and I pull everything out and I divide the perennials, then 1 plant becomes 4 plants, and what do I do with the other 3? I could put them in pots and then give them away or sell them, but really I just wish I had more garden space to build new flower beds. But I'm not taking for granted how much space I do have as well, especially living here in England, where lots of people don't have as much space as I do. Nicole said she would love that, and Matt, her partner, is the green thumb, so too. So we both make the backyard our thing in the summer. But yes, I do puzzles and crafts in the, I'm gonna guess it says winter, but in the winter. Yeah, Steve isn't really huge on like outdoors and all that stuff. He does like barbecuing, and he has helped me make the raised beds and stuff. And he likes sitting outside sometimes by the pond and stuff. But he, I mean, I think a part of it is I need to have a TV that is outside so that we can watch TV outside, and then I get the best of both worlds, him and the garden. But also, we have both talked about beekeeping for a few years now, and so when we're ready, or when he's ready, because I already do enough, so I'm going to leave the bees to him. When he's ready, then we'll get a couple beehives. And until then, we're still doing things in the garden for other types of bees, carpenter bees, and like solitary bees and stuff. So I love watching the nature and everything that comes into even a small space in the garden. And now, because I've lived here, I can think of so many different things that I would be able to do in Canada differently, because people take their gardening way more seriously here, but it's partly because it's easier to garden here because things grow so well and the season's shorter, so I'm sure it's like that in BC. But I would know how to make my garden and yard really beautiful if I lived in Canada again. So, yeah. So I do wish we had more space. I wish we had a small acreage or small holding. And no, I don't want any wasps, Mom. And at the same time, I'm getting texts, and Allison, even though she's not home, is asking what's for dinner. But I'm not going to respond to her. And if she wants to know what's for dinner, then she needs to be at home. So it is 45 minutes that I've been babbling. So I got 15 more minutes, and I've really enjoyed the interaction, which is what this is about. So thank you, Nicole, for being on and interacting even with 5 kids in the middle of the afternoon in the hot weather. So I hope you have like sprinklers or pool for your kids to go in. And everybody else who's watching this, either live or later, I hope you're having a good August 1st. Or I guess if you're watching it later, then it's not August 1st anymore. But it is for me right now, and it's getting a bit darker outside. I guess my lighting on there is good. It just feels gloomy out here. Also because I was a bit late, so I'm guessing it's very close to 9 o'clock, which is when it starts getting dark here anyways, which is so weird. I mean, in Canada in the summertime, it wouldn't get dark till like 11 o'clock, so. But it's kind of good because then it kind of forces me to go in the house. You know, it's like, I mean, I could set up lamps out here and keep working, or in the greenhouse, but no, it gets me to go inside and, you know, do my workout if I haven't done it already, or do the things I need to do, like watch TV with Steve so I can get to sleep at a decent hour. But it is, like I said, it is still weird that it's summertime and it's 9 o'clock and it's already getting dark. And it's the height of summer too. It's not like it's the end of summer. So the only thing about doing my lives from out here is that I'm so distracted looking at all my plants. And I wish I could share the garden with people. I wish that I could do tours of the garden with other people who care about the garden and love it. But maybe I will do some videos of like really slowly going through it, as if like it would be like what it would be like if you were walking through the garden. But I was also thinking about the haunted house, and, you know, with COVID and everything. And so, okay, so if I turn you to the caravan, you'll see that there's a door on the caravan there. That's what we call like a mobile home here. So there's a door there, and that goes into the living room. And then there's a door over there, and that's in like the hallway. And then there's bedrooms back there. But when using this huge like driveway and everything that I have here, and then using that, I can make fake walls and things in here, and people go through. And then, but also with the caravan, you could go in that door and then through and then come out the other door. So I'm gonna, if I want to really do a good haunted house for Halloween and in October, then I need to start thinking about certain things now. But it's like so much, I mean, honestly, the gardening isn't something I can just pack away like a craft and be like, yeah, I'll work on that later. It's such a constant thing that needs constant attention. So it's hard for me to think about doing a huge other project, but at the same time I miss doing like things like that. So I really do want to do the haunted house, and also the fact that I brought all my haunted house, all my Halloween stuff here, bins and bins and bins of stuff got shipped here, and it's just been sitting in the loft since I shipped it here like 6 years ago. So I really want to get it out and do something with it, decorate like crazy and everything else. But it's like I said, we're at the end of the road, so really nobody comes down here even for trick-or-treating. Halloween's not as big here as it is in North America, and so I would have to definitely advertise if you know, for the haunted house and stuff. I would like to make it an annual thing, but and maybe like Samantha, you know how you did the at the school when our kids were still in primary, which is called elementary in Canada. Samantha, at the school when you did the Winter Wonderland and with Santa and everything, maybe that's something I'll look into too, that if we do the haunted house in our garden, even if it's to raise money for food bank or different charities or whatever, we'll do the haunted house in the garden for Halloween, and then we could do like a Santa's grotto and Winter Wonderland in the, oh, now I'm getting excited. See, I really should cut down on my gardening and still make the garden look nice, but not so many plants, and that way I'd have time for more fun and projects and everything else, because I do miss doing those things. But yeah, so on my mind, besides all the stuff that's important and has to be done, is thinking about what I want to do with the haunted house coming up and how to make it COVID safe. And you want to say hi? Allison's home now, and what is for supper is there's chicken in the Ninja, chicken breast, and there's still stew in the fridge. So you can, there's white wraps, so you can make wraps with the chicken, or you can have chicken and rice, or you can have the stew.
Okay.
And I'm almost done.
Fair enough.
She's been out with boys.
No.
She's been out with girls.
Well, I've been out with Ryan.
Grandma says hi, and Nicole says hi. Nicole DeHaan, you know the DeHaans that I used to babysit? Yeah, the 3 girls that I used to babysit that lived by Grandma's house.
Oh, yeah.
And then Tiffany and them, like, I don't know if you remember them when you were little, but then Tiffany babysat for me a few times. She babysat you. So, Nicole says hi.
Hi.
Yeah, you know how many minutes I have left? No, I don't know either. I have 8.5 minutes.
Alright.
Because I started late. Do you like my hoodie that you always wear?
It's my hoodie.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Enjoy your life.
Oh, yes. It is, I know you guys can't tell. I mean, it might look a bit different from when I started the live, but it really is getting like dark out here. Like dusk. Not like dark, like where I can't see anything, but it's like dusk. It just feels like, you know, when it's like dim lighting, and like this would be, if it was like this in your house, it would be when you would turn on the light to read, because it's a bit too dim. And yeah, and like I said, I'm just so distracted by all my plants. I don't know, should I take you guys on a little tour while I'm doing my live? Okay, because my phone's not even plugged in, and I'm not using my oopsie doopsie, I'm not using my light anyways. There, sorry, I accidentally closed my phone. So I'm gonna actually I don't know how to do this. I'll do it like this so that it's still me on my live, because if I turn it around, then it's just me doing a video. So this is the neighbor's gate, and this is their hydrangea, but I have some other things on the corner here too. So this is behind me. This is the Tia rose. So Steve's, you can't even see the barrel, but under all that ivy is a whiskey barrel, and that's where Tia's ashes are. Steve's dog that he had way before I even got here, and the rose is growing up there, but it hasn't flowered as good this year. I'm going to have to chop it down and get some good blooms on it again. And so I'm really glad that I painted this fence last year. It really has made a difference. So these are the bench things that I was talking about. And this is all pots here, or like there's a wheelbarrow in there that has plants in it. because this is all the tarmac all the way to the fence. So, and then behind here, there's some cedars that the neighbors planted, and they're gonna grow as big as those ones eventually. And then this is the, thank you, Samantha. Samantha said the fence looks really good. This is that fountain that I said that I got for free, which is crazy. And it actually does work. I just don't have a pump in it because I would have to have electricity to over here. And the water comes down on the umbrella and sprinkles into the pond. So I just have some pond plants growing in and stuff right now. So, yep, more pots, more pots, more pots. The other bench, more pots. And then down here, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this because, so even in this little alleyway, it's not really an alleyway, but it's in front of the caravan, is my fuchsias. I'm going to bring you in there and you can see some of the really pretty fuchsia blooms because you can't really appreciate them at the moment from far away. So see, if you look at it like that, then you can appreciate it. And but there's this one, and this one, and it's getting a bit dark in here. So, but I was coming back. Oh, there's none of them. They haven't opened yet on the one that I really like. So that defeats the purpose of that. Actually, this one's really nice too. It's like really big and pink and big, lots of petals. Okay, that's not going to focus here. There's these ones down here. Okay, let's just go on more of a garden tour. I just hit my head on a hanging basket. I bought these baskets last year for my winter effect, and they look really good, but I need to redo them. I didn't do them as much for summer as I should have. So, shoot, pressing buttons again. Here is the little table. Steve got this table and chairs for me when he knows I like to sit out in the sun. So this whole area, that's why the pool is here. This gets like so much sun for almost all of the day. So that's a cherry tree. And then there's like conifers back here. And I have some pots in front here too. So, and then that is actually a little chicken coop, but I made it into a cat house, and you can the cats can still get in between the plants there. But I have a bunch of succulents here. And then more plants. These ones aren't really supposed to be here. Those are just ones that I'm moving that have already flowered. And there's irises and lilies, but they're going into the back now. And I have an arbor here, and it has a wisteria growing up the side of it. And then that goes over to the back garden, where the dog will probably be laying. But then I'll take you to the house. And then I will probably be done my live. So I'll come out all the way so you can see the house. Nicole, I do it in, so Nicole asked about watering days. I do it, you can see the hose lying there. I have 3 different hoses around the garden, and I have different, like, so say I try to do all the front here one day, and then I try to do like the back or around different places. There's my car. Actually, I'll bring you guys to over by the car, behind the car. This is like a little corner. It's like a meditation bed that I made for Steve. There's this red rack in front of it right now, but this was only supposed to be temporary, but my acers are doing really well. But that was a meditation bed that I made for Steve. And because it's temporary, because like this will be coming out when we do the addition onto the house, and then that wall will be coming out when we, like half the wall's already gone, but we'll be redoing the front wall and putting in gates. So yeah, so let me walk back so that you guys can see as I come into the, so coming up into the house. This statue Steve got for me and off the marketplace on Facebook, and when he took it out of the car, because it's really heavy, we leaned it against us, and it's been sitting here for years. But she does look really good, especially when the plants grow around her. but I just cut things back there. So this is the wildflower bed, and this is where I want to, some of these, like the daylily and lots of these things have been here for years, and I need to divide them and refreshen them. This is one of our favorite things. It's really big, and we got it from the garden show a few years ago, and it's one of our best things that we love in our garden. And then I'll bring you around, and I don't have the pond on right now, like the fountain on right now, because I just forgot to turn it on. Actually, it looks pretty good even though it's getting dark out. So this is a wildlife pond, which was supposed to be inconspicuous, and it was just supposed to be for wildlife, but it ended up being a feature where you see these chairs behind us. Those are Steve's chairs, and then there's these chairs here, and we like to sit here and look at the bed. And actually, I told you guys this before, but right here behind me where these chairs are is the garage, and that's going to be a big patio door into the garage. Is going to become our bedroom, and that's going to be doors so that I can sit on the bed or be in the bedroom and look straight out into the pond here. And even if when we redo all this paving and everything here, I'll still, even if I have to take everything out and move it somewhere else, I'll put in a pond again. So, and as you can see over in this corner, those paving slabs there are supposed to be like the base for my my garden shed when we have it. But look at this. This is called gunnera, and it's like related to rhubarb. And I'm glad that we have the space for this. Love you too, Nicole. Thanks for visiting. And these leaves are huge. They're so awesome. So it's only going to get bigger. And then when we cut down the tree on the side where we're building the addition, we had all this wood. So I made this wood pile thing for wildlife out in the wildlife pond. And I have this statue, which would be good for the haunted house, but he is the end of the thing. But I used him as his back so that like the logs stop so they don't roll away. So yeah, so that's enough of a tour, I'd say, for today. I just kicked a football. Thank you. Sorry, I don't know where I cut off. The internet just went again. See, I have plants and stuff everywhere. Thank you for joining me. I hope that I have something planned for you guys next week, and that you've enjoyed my Facebook Live. And yeah, I will talk to you guys next week. Have a great week. And I'll tell you about those books next week, because I'm going to go and read. No, I'm going to go work out, and then I'm going to go read. And I love you guys. We will see you next week, August 8th. And have a great week, everyone. All right. Bye.